God. It's like, how are you supposed to follow your own intro to that? Um, I'm so excited, you guys. So excited to bring some nuggets to you tonight. I hope that you can have some tangible takeaways. I'm all about action. I'm all about taking messy action consistently. Everybody is that's on my team knows that. I just saw Stacy was like, yep, those are the words she uses every day. So I just wanted to talk very candidly tonight with you guys. Like, these are my notes for this call. I've got like two things, which for anybody that knows me knows that that's not very much. But I was thinking about how I could serve you guys and how I could bring value to our Emerald call tonight. And one of the themes that's come up recently with some of my coaches and in my own coaching journey and people that I'm friends with and really whatever in relation to is this theme of overwhelm. And another thing I really wanted to touch on with regards to the theme of overwhelm is it's January, and January is very much like rah rah rah, let's like crush all of our goals. And then if you don't hit all your goals by the end of January, you're kind of left feeling a little bit defeated. Can you guys just show me if you agree with that, if that's kind of resonating with you a little bit? Right. So everybody. So I know this is true because this is something for me too, and we're seasonal creatures as humans. I'm going to get a little weird on you here. Okay. We're seasonal creatures. That's why you feel, and as women, especially, we're seasonal and cyclical, right? You have a cycle every moon. You have a cycle. Yes. Everybody, you understand you have a cycle? Okay, good. So we're seasonal creatures. So in the wintertime, we are more prone to like hibernation. And that's when you like plant seeds and you make plans. And then in the summertime, that's when you're like, I have energy and it's go, go, go. And you really like reap what you've sown in the winter months. Okay. Just like in farming, it's the same thing with you. And so I've been coming across this theme of overwhelm lately. And I think a lot of it has to do with, first of all, comparison, right? We know that comparison is the thief of joy, but so many of us still do this to ourselves every single day. It's just self-inflicted suffering. Stop comparing yourself. And if you are following people on social media, coaches or otherwise, who make you compare yourself, unfollow them. You should not be following anybody. You are choosing to surround yourself with people on your social media. So choose the people who lift you up and not the people who maybe make you feel icky about yourself, right? And it's not about them, it's about you. So the comparison is the number one. And the number two thing that is creating this overwhelm is this, I need to do it all and I need to do it right now. Can you guys just show me if you agree with that as well? I need to do it all. I need to do it right now. Nice. Elizabeth's like, holy crap, put my toes in the air. So I'm the same way. Welcome to our AA meeting. I spent last year so stressed out, you guys. And I want to just like talk. This is like real, like honest friend to friend, sister to sister. I spent last year so stressed out, pushing for these crazy goals in my business. And I hit them, my team, we hit them all together. It's amazing. We got to end the year as a 5-star Diamond Elite team, and I'm so proud of us, and it is so worth it, an absolutely worthwhile goal. But in the process of striving for those goals, I lost a little bit of my joy for coaching. And that's something that as I entered the new year here, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed with these different New Year's resolutions posts and goals posts and people setting their own goals. And I started to slip into comparison. And then I started to slip into, well, I don't really know where I fit in this, and I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So if you felt any bit of overwhelm in the last like 22 days of 2019, this call is for you. And I'm just going to talk about the 3 things that I personally do in order to get myself out of overwhelm and into productivity and joy, and I call it flow. When you're just like cruising and you feel so good and nothing can stop you and you're having the best day ever and conversations are flowing and people are coming out from left, right, and center being like, I want to buy 10 challenge packs. That's flow. Okay. And you only align yourself with flow when you stop trying to force, when you surrender. This is how it works. This is how flow works. So when you stop trying to control everything, when you kind of step back and you go, what can I control in my day? Well, I can work out. I can drink Shaco, I can post value on social media, I can host one challenge group, and I can invite to it and help people get results. And I'm going to do those things every single month. That's what I control. Can I control if coaches quit? No. Can I control if coaches hit diamond? No. Can I control if whatever XYZ happens tomorrow? If somebody hits my car or I need to pay for medical stuff? No, I can't control those things, right? So it's really about like getting into that flow state. And so the first thing that I do when I find myself slipping into overwhelm, which is what happened at the end of this last year, I found myself slipping into this state of like, I just felt anxious all the time. And I felt like I had to be productive in order to be worthy. Do you guys resonate with that at all? You have to feel like you need to get stuff done in order to be worthy. Yes, this is a lifelong habit that I'm trying to break right now, and it's a deep, vicious cycle. So the number one thing that I do, and I'm going to give you 3 things just for any A types out there. The number one thing that I do is I sit down with my journal and I just journal my little heart out. And I don't edit my journal. I don't stop to think what's the best way to write this sentence. I just do pure stream of consciousness journaling. I just go. I let my pen go. And even if my pen is writing, this is stupid, I don't have anything to say right now, I'm feeling so frustrated, eventually it's like word vomit. Eventually it comes out. So the number one thing I do is I journal, because as soon as I can get that stuff on paper, or better yet, if I can get that out in a conversation with somebody, with Brandon or Britt or Ginny or with my team, if I can get that out of my mouth and admit to how I'm feeling and what it is, I can usually uncover why it is I'm feeling overwhelmed. And generally it comes back to this deeper thing of like unworthiness or some kind of a mental pattern that I'm trying to deal with. Okay, so journaling is so, so powerful. If you don't already journal, I highly recommend it. I do this practice every single day that I call morning pages. And every single day I write 3 pages, stream of consciousness, first thing before my meditation. And I just get like, it's like a brain dump. I just go, everything in here. We wake up and like most people have a negative thought first thing, right? You're like, oh, don't want to get up. Oh, it's cold out. Oh, bleh, bleh, negativity. Yes, Tim Ferriss. So Tim Ferriss actually got that from Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way. And she's like queen bee. But anyways, that's a diverge. So journal, number 1, journal what's going on. Number 2, you need to get really clear. And I've talked to a couple of my coaches this week about this. You got to get so clear on why it is you're coaching. Because at the end of the day, if you're on this call, you're not doing this as a hobby. You have a niggling in that little brain of yours that you want to do something with this. And maybe you see yourself as a top 10 coach, and maybe you see yourself as hitting Success Club 5 for 24 months in a row. Maybe you see yourself helping 100 women this year. Maybe you see yourself paying off debt and retiring your husband or wife. Whatever is your shtick, whatever is your why, whatever fuels your fire and puts a fire into your butt in the morning, you got to remember what that is. Because otherwise you're just going to get swept up in comparison. You're going to get swept up in a challenging month or 2, and you're going to give up. And the biggest mistake that I ever see any coach make is when they give up. You don't fail by continuing to try. You fail when you quit. So don't quit. That's the only option, right? You take it off the table. There is no failure. There's only learning. So journal out your vision, journal out your why, and journal out what's going on in your brain, because more often than not, if you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed with your coaching business, it's because you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed in your own life in some area. Maybe it's your relationship. Maybe it's your job, right? Maybe it's because you feel unfulfilled. Maybe it's your weight. Maybe it's your health. I've been going through so many health issues this year. That's where most of my frustration and overwhelm comes from. I feel out of control in my own body sometimes. So then that translates into my business, right? Because you are your business. There is no separation. So journaling, number 1. Number 2, please put your hands in the air if you use a tracker. Oh, thank God. I was like ready to cry if nobody answered. Okay, so here's the deal. I use a tracker that is, I just adopted it from the Success Club system tracker that Kim Carver posted in the Beachbody Champions page. Mine is just a little bit different. It just is black and white to save ink. And it starts on a Monday because OCD. And I have like a couple extra little things in there, like meditate and 3 things you're grateful for in my PD. Okay. So I just like edited it a little bit to make my own because I'm a freak, and that's, if you want to do that, feel free, and you're not alone. So when I started using a tracker, when I first started coaching, it helped me to just do the important stuff. And I don't know if anybody's heard this quote, but it's, you got to keep the main thing, right? The main thing is to keep the main thing, the main thing. So it's so easy to be like, I need to get a website, and I need to do this with my Instagram, and I need to, no, you don't need to do any of that shit. None of it, literally none of it at all. If you just show up and post 1 quality post a day, a handful of stories, do your workout, drink Shaco, read PD, and just keep doing that day after day, you will be successful. That's it. And don't give up. But people overwhelm themselves, this whole theme of overwhelm, and people overcomplicate it. And I've been so guilty of this. So getting down to basics with a tracker every single day. So you just get in and get out, so that Beachbody doesn't become your life, but Beachbody helps you live the life that you want to live. Can I get a little amen on that one? Yes. I have been so guilty in the past, you guys, of being addicted and obsessed with working this business. And it's amazing. I love working this business. But I've been addicted and obsessed with it to the point where Brandon was like, hey, are we like together? Or Like, are you with Beachbody? Because it kind of seems that way. Because I love it, because I'm so passionate about it. But when I work with a tracker, I'm so much more productive. I'm so much more time efficient. I can get my power hour done in a legitimate hour, 1 hour. Turns out you don't need 8. You can just do it in 1. Right? And if you're busy mom or busy working nurse or busy whatever person of 2019, every single person is so busy. Don't ever use that as your excuse, please. You can get it done in pockets of your day. You can get it done in under an hour. Okay, so number 2 is using a tracker, and I just use my tracker every day. And the last thing I'm going to say about tracker too is, if you're using a tracker or you're intimidated by using a tracker because you're like, ooh, I see the whole week I didn't check off any days of inviting, the tracker isn't there to shame you. The tracker is just there to shed light on the things that you might be avoiding. And then you can journal about the things that you're avoiding and figure out why the hell you're avoiding them, because they're not hard. So really get clear with yourself, right? But the tracker is just there to show you. The tracker is your ally. It's your friend. It's not there to shame you or say like, haha, you suck. You didn't invite all week. No wonder you're at Success Club -6. It's not going to do that to you. I promise. You're the one that's doing that to yourself. But use the tracker because it shows you what you're doing and what you're not doing. I didn't post anything on social media yesterday. I can look at my tracker and I've got little X's. I didn't post on social media. I didn't engage on social media. I didn't even put up my stories, and I didn't do like 5 to 10 new connections on social media. But do you know what I did do? I had 2 coach calls. I posted in my challenge group. I answered all my messages and emails. I did good work stuff. And it's just important to see that moving forward. Does that all make sense? Yes. So no shame. Just use the tracker because it helps you measure. Okay. And number 3, this is probably like the most important one of all of it. And it's funny that Jenny mentioned Marie Kondo, because her whole thing is the KonMari method, and it's spark joy. Okay, and if anybody's not familiar with Marie Kondo, she's this like amazingly small Japanese woman who is she's a tidy queen. And a couple of years ago, Brandon and I read the book, and probably 2 or 3 years ago, Brandon read the book and really started on our like minimalist journey in our house and our life, and getting rid of clothes and excess stuff and just clearing the space and really truly only keeping things that spark joy. And the more I started to think about it, and this whole thing has taken us by storm because it's on Netflix, so of course everybody's watching it right now, and it's awesome. Go watch it. It's fantastic. It just has this this motivational aspect to it that teaches us to only find joy and not to focus on anything else. And so in your coaching journey, and one of the things that I see coaches getting overwhelmed with is that they're just doing the things that are monotonous, or they're doing these tasks that they think they should be doing, or being these people that they think they should be being, comparing themselves, and they're not having any fun with it. And like, can I be so real with you? At the end of the day, if you're not having fun with your Beachbody coaching business, what the hell are you doing? Truly, this is amazing. Oh, somebody's got it. Here, Katie, you mute yourself. Otherwise, I got squirrel brain. Thank you so much. God, I get squirrel brain so easily. Okay. Anyways, find the joy in your coaching business, because at the end of the day, if you're not having fun with it, there is no point. We get to show up as ourselves, first of all. You get to show up as you in all your messy, weird awesomeness. Show up as yourself. You get to commit to your wellness journey, and you get to share that on social media of all places. And then you get to invite people to do the same. You get paid for it, compensated for it, and you get a weekly paycheck. Like, it's just, to me, it's mind blowing. When coaches are like, I'm just so overwhelmed, I just don't know what to do. I'm like, just do the vitals. There's 4. There's just 4. Just do them. And this is the last thing I'll say about the find the joy piece. And then we've got 10 minutes left, and I'll dip into the chat, and we can have like a little question period if you guys want. But when you are posting on social media and it is forced, and when you are messaging people in conversations and it is forced, and you're like, I have to get 10 invites out today, otherwise I didn't check off my little thing on my list and I didn't do the coach work. People feel when they're a number. Don't make people a number. You have to go at it with compassion. You have to remember that there is a person on the other side of that Instagram account or Facebook account. So when you're talking with people, stop the madness, take a deep breath, and take time to converse with people. You know, I liken it to whack-a-mole. Sometimes I get so fast and I'm just doing all this stuff that I'm like whack-a-mole. It's like doing too many things at once. And then my hands are on fire all of a sudden and my brain is burnt and I'm like, whoa, what happened? What day is it? Where am I? So slow down, breathe, find the joy. Why did you join as a coach in the very first place? If you're brand new on this call as a new Emerald coach, why did you join as a coach in the first place? Nice. Colleen's got native deodorant. Hi. I don't know if that was Hudson or anyways. Make it fun for yourself, because if it's not fun for you, you're not going to last through the hard times, and there are going to be hard times as a coach. Because like I said before, you are your business. And if you're going through hard times, stuff happens, divorce happens, cancer happens, you know, like debt happens, illness happens, stress happens, concussions happen during 6-week qualification periods, might I add. Stuff happens. And if you don't know exactly why, if you haven't journaled out why you're here in the first place, if you haven't journaled out what's going on in your own brain and dealt with your own limiting beliefs and baggage, and you're not using a tracker, so you don't know what's going on in your business or who you've been talking to or who to follow up with, and you're not excited to show up and you don't know why you're showing up in the first place, nothing will matter in the end. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, the way to simplify your business is just to take a deep breath, remember why you're here, and then put your blinders on. If you need to go and follow a whole bunch of people, go and follow a whole bunch of people, and then just make it so fun for yourself. Just make it this is your goal for the week. Make coaching as fun as humanly possible for myself and show that on social media. I promise people will message you and be like, hey, I want to buy a challenge pack. I think I want to coach. I promise. That's how it works. Get in that flow state, and this is how you get into flow state. So that's what I have for you guys. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Jenny said, I find setting a 50-minute timer to crush work helps me be super focused and go do something else. Yes, I'm going to show you guys something. I bought this off of Amazon. It's a time cube. It was like $7. When I flip it, it starts beeping and blinking. And then it times at the end of the whatever, 5, 15, 30, or 60 minutes that I have. I need that because otherwise I will work for 10 hours straight and not pee or eat. Oops. Is that just me? Okay, I'm just going to look in the chat. If you guys have any questions specifically about what I talked to or not about what I talked to, feel free to put them in the chat and I will look through them here. Everybody's liking the Mood Beachbody tracker. Yep. The new one is in the Beachbody Champions page or in the Coach Online office. And if you guys go to the Beachbody Champion page, go to the unit section, and there's all new training videos there too, which is really awesome. Marie, would you mind showing us your tracker just so I know what I'm looking for? So mine looks different than the one in the office, but Britt can show. So we both made binders. Nice. So Brittany Holko, if you guys can see her screen, she's got a list for names, and she's got the tracker in there too. And so the only difference, I'll show you. Actually, I'll do you one better without showing you on my, I'll do this. Give me 1 second, please. Okay.
Are you trying to share screen?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, you can. Heck yeah.
Can you guys see?
Yep, we can see.
Okay. So I just changed mine slightly because I need prompts. So why I show up every day and who I'm trying to speak to in my post, that's a really good way for me to stay focused and remember like why I'm doing this and who I'm trying to speak to. And who I'm trying to speak to is the Marie before Beachbody. Right? I'm trying to find that girl. Be proof that what products work. So work on a drink Shakeology, connect, invite, follow up. So I have all these tasks that are on the other BAT tracker as well. I just start mine on a Monday and end it on a Saturday because I take Sundays off. So just like little things like that. And then at the end, I put, contribute to your challenge group, and then express gratitude for 3 things. Because I think if you start and end the day with gratitude, that will change your life. So those are my tips for you guys on how to simplify your business. Okay, Erin says, how do you suggest starting up those conversations without sounding too salesy right off the bat? I think sending simple messages like, thanks for always watching my stories. I appreciate the support, which doesn't usually go anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to say 2 things to this. Number 1, I have a trick on how I connect with people on social media, and it works very well for me. It's called the 3-2-1 method. For every single person, I go and I like 3 of their 9 recent photos. I comment something kind on 2 of them, and I either follow them or I send them one message about one of their posts. And I'll do that for 5 to 10 people a day. Not only does that connect me with new people, it starts new conversations. My Instagram algorithm is better, so my stuff gets seen by more eyes. It works all together. Do you see? So I do that. I do the 3-2-1 connections. It's like basically I think of it as like a high five on social media. That's my high five to somebody. I like 3 of their photos, I comment on 2, and I follow them or DM them. That's a really good way to do it. And that's something I learned from Angie Bellmere, except for she does like, she goes 5-3-1, which I'm like, that's a lot. So I'm going to do 3-2-1. So just to repeat it, I go and like 3 of their recent 9 photos. I comment something kind on 2 of them, something genuine, not just emojis. Like I'll comment something nice on 2 of them, and then I'll either follow them or I will send a direct message. This is Instagram that I'm talking about right now. I'll send a direct message about one of their posts, or I will send thank you messages because that feels really good for me, and that's a really great way to start a conversation. I'll say, hey, Louise, thank you so much for your support on my post. I know it takes 2 seconds to click like, but your support means a lot to me. I hope you're having an awesome week. And I might start a conversation with Louise after that. It might go nowhere. It might get to a point where I invite her and she says no. But at the very least, if I've started that conversation with her, then 2 months later when I'm like, hey, Louise would be sweet on my challenge group, I should send her a message. It's not weird then for me to reach back out and be like, hey, Louise, I was thinking about who I wanted to do this program with. There's going to be 10 of us. Do you want to be one of my 10? Then it's not weird because you've already initiated an awesome conversation, human to human, and you've thanked her. Does that make sense? So that's how I do that. Just social media is social. Be a human. Please. Stop treating it like numbers.
You guys feel free to unmute yourselves and like ask conversations. Like, don't feel like you have to type them out. I encourage you to like chat. We love hearing your voices.
Okay, well, I'll talk about my comment that I just made. One of the things I found, Instagram's always a bit tougher because there's tons of people sending that hey girl message, right? So one of the things is if you are being a human and you genuinely have looked at their page and you're interested in what they're doing, and you ask them a question, then it helps the conversation go somewhere. And if you feel like the conversation is sort of dwindling and you just want to ask them flat out, I just asked, are you on your own health and fitness journey or own health and wellness journey, similar to mine? And it tends to bring the conversation into an invite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And be more interested than interesting. I love that you wrote that because that's true. When you ask questions, I'm going to teach you guys something about sales here really quick too. This is sales psychology. When somebody says something to you in a message, if you repeat that back to them and then ask them, is that correct or is that true or is that right? It makes them feel heard. And most of us just feel like we're not being heard or seen in this world. And that's why social media is so noisy and loud. That makes sense, right? So everybody's like, please look at me, please love me. I don't love myself. I need to be heard and seen. So when somebody says, hey, Marie, I don't think I can do your program because honestly, I just don't have any time right now. I'm so burnt out. I will repeat that back to that person. I'll say, hey, Stacy, what I'm hearing is that you're super burnt out and frustrated right now and you feel like you don't want to add anything to your plate. Is that true? And she'll be like, yeah, it is. Thank you for listening to me. And from there, I can be like, this is exactly why I think you should do this program. This is made for people like you and I who have too much on our schedules, and it really helps you to manage your time better and feel more energized. And I will use that person's excuse as the exact reason why they need to join me. But you can get better at that when you practice those conversations, right? That was not always the case. I used to word vomit all over people and be like, you should buy a challenge pack and Shakeology has adaptogens in it. Like I used to do that. Don't do that. But you just have to practice. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? I know we only have about 2 minutes left here before we jump on the diamond call, but.
I had a quick question, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go for it.
I had typed it in, but I think it kind of got bypassed. Just I've been having a hard time recently finding new people to connect with. I don't know if it's because of my hashtags, but I find that when I go to search people or to look for new people to reach out to, somebody's either already a coach connected to Beachbody or already, you know what I mean? Like they already are connected in some way. So I'm just having a hard time finding new people to connect with.
Who is your ideal client, Trista?
Well, obviously somebody like myself, new mom, dealing with postpartum depression, past dance teacher, that kind of stuff are my main things that I look at. But I don't know if it's the algorithm thing, but the people that I've put those hashtags into search, the first thing, not in the popular ones, but the other column, always seems to just be somebody connected to Beachbody. So I just don't know if that's just a coincidence or what I'm doing wrong.
So it could be a few things. Something that I would suggest, and if you want to, you and I can chat about this after, is I actually use a hashtag membership library because I found that I didn't want to make the time to find my new hashtags every single month. So I pay $35 a month and I get hashtags that are made for me, and I just put them together in my little bunches of 30. The one thing that I will say that I've learned about this whole thing from being a part of that hashtag membership is that the number one thing you can do for your social media is engage. So take 20 minutes a day if you can. If you can only manage 5 to 10, that's fine. But like take 5 to 10 to 20 minutes if possible and go and engage on people's posts. Go leave comments, engage with people's stories, because that will help kick your stuff out to more people. And engaging less with Beachbody coaches will help less Beachbody coaches show up for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Marie.
No worries.
Courtney, you asked to see my tracker. You guys, once again, in the Coach Online office, I just made it pretty because that's how I procrastinate. So Procrastination Nation 2019 business tracker. Then Marie and I are just on the same page because that's just what we do in life. And so I have my vision board here. From vision board, I go to elite tracker. So whatever tracker, whether it's team leader, team builder, premier, elite, whatever it is, go crush it, print it out, have it there, start filling it out because it's January. Then my month tracker, and then I go straight into Beachbody's business activity tracker, you guys. So literally print it out. I follow it. This is how I build my business. It's nothing secretive. It's nothing crazy. This is what Carl Deichler put on his Insta stories, and it's in the Coach Online office in the training section. Go there, print it out, and then there's page 1 of the document, and if you scroll down, there's page 2. And that's where you write everybody's names. And then when they sign up with you, you highlight their names. And then if they don't sign up, then next month you go back and follow up with them. So I got it coiled because that's just how I tried to do it not coiled, and my life was so stressful. So I got this done at Staples for $21. Nice. So if you need to do that, go and do that. It is a business expense. You write it off, get it back next year.
Hey, Britt, quick question. Did you have Staples print them all off on color like that?
Sure did.
Okay, awesome. And Trista, I just wanted to add to what she was saying. I also, as a nurse, find that I can scroll through hashtags for a long time and find the exact same people just like me, Beachbody coaches and stuff. But every once in a while, you'll hit that one stressed out nurse for me, or stressed out mom, or ex-dance teacher, and they are worth the time that you've put the effort in because they're your people. So you might have to go through 100 people to find 1 or 2 or 3, but totally worth it, and it doesn't take that much time.
Thanks, Sandy.
Truth. Okay, we got to hop off because we got a diamond call right now at 8:30. So I just wanted to say thank you. Jenny says, before Emerald top off, boomerang dance party for everybody's egg stories.
Get your phone right now. We're going to show how much fun we are.
P.S. We have 50 people on this call, you guys. That's freaking huge. So congratulations for making your business a priority tonight. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Now dance party.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. You guys rock. We'll have the recording at some point, I'm sure. Thank you for listening to me. If anything didn't make sense, feel free to reach out. I'm an open book. And go make your tracker. Stop overwhelming and overcomplicating shit and just get to work, because that's all there is to it. Love you guys. Bye.
Do you guys have the song na 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 hey 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 goodbye? That's just instantly started playing in my head when everyone signed off.
So good.
Oh my gosh. Britt, I need your laugh because on my Instagram stories, it's always like awkward, like.
Can you do that again? You just, I didn't hear that.
It's like super cute, like, ah! I'm like,
Jen, just get that whisk going, man, like you did in Arizona. You'll be fine.
You gotta get all slothy on us.
We'll bring the dance parties.
I just feel like
trying to record record straight videos, so I'm like, if I mess it up, they just get to hear me mess it up.
You know what though? I don't feel like anybody really knows how weird you are.
I'm weird.
I know.
Only in certain.
People on this call also. Okay. I am excited. Sorry, I'm just putting that boomerang up so now I can concentrate and chat with you guys. Hi, leaders. Thank you for having me speak with you tonight. I'm super excited for this roundtable. Super, super excited. Hopefully that Emerald one brought some kind of value for some people. Always hit or miss.
No,
Olivia?
that was Marie. I just want to say that was awesome. Like, I think that's exactly what everyone needs to hear, especially this month.
Cool. Good.
That was good. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So for the diamond call, I would love to structure this just so we are mindful of our half an hour. I would love to structure it if you guys would be open to answering 2 questions on Loose Leaf or on your phone in front of you. And then we can like take 3 or 4 minutes here to write down the answers to the questions and then bring it back round table styles. Is that cool with you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a pen. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Or just use your phone too if you want to like, or type it on your computer or whatever.
No, this whole time I've been working on a post. I can't mess with it.
Oh, this is true. Make sure you copy it just in case you lose it. That scares me. You guys know what I'm talking about when you're like craft the most epic post and you like,
yeah.
oh, those are the days.
Your dog.
You accidentally delete it.
Yeah, and you're like, it's over. I'm not doing anything else for the rest of the day. It's day's ruined.
I got my job to buy me all of these. Isn't this so pretty?
Very nice.
Yeah, so I got pens. Colored ones.
You're stacked. You need to get a little tool belt for those. Stick them in.
You know, that bound book, though, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it works. It keeps it simple. I'm the same. Binder. Super simple. But I might get a bound book because I like that. It's a little less bulky. Okay.
I kind of do the same thing, but it's with my planner, but I use the note section in it for each month. So that way it's all in one place. But it's still, that book is awesome.
You know what I should say? Like, that book is so amazing. A binder's amazing. A duotang's amazing. There is no one way. And that's really important for people to hear also. So, like,
Right.
I caught myself chasing what other successful coaches were doing a lot. And even, like, weekly, we have a mastermind call. And sometimes stuff will resonate with me. And sometimes it's like, oh, I don't think I want to do that. Like, for example, we had the Canada call last week, and Miguel was talking about how he hosts a new group for his coaches every single month. And I'm like, you are so intense. That causes me stress just thinking about that. I'm not going to do that. You know, so really just like take what works for you personally. Everybody's got a different vibe and tribe. So just take what works for you personally and figure that out, figure out your voice. So my 2 questions for you guys. The first question, we could even do like, what's the one thing, but my first question is, what are the 2 specific daily actions that you take other than your workout, your personal development, posting on social media, and drinking Shaco that make all the difference to you personally in your business? What are the 1 to 2 things that you do other than working out, personal development, posting, and Shaco that make all the difference to you? That's question number 1. And question number 2 is, what piece of advice would you give yourself as a new coach, knowing what you know now?
Was it 1 or 2 things for new, if advice to new coach?
If you have 2 things, that's fine too. Just what's your like top piece of advice?
Okay.
But if you've got more than 1, then that's great.
And you said except, so not including Shaco, workout, personal development,
Or posting on social media.
or posting on social media. Okay.
I'm missing 1 vital for a reason, but that's not the one that I'm assuming everybody's going to talk about. But everybody's like, wait, what?
I know. I get what you're saying.
Okay, I'm going to start it off because mine are really small and I want to give everybody else the floor. So maybe since there's like actually quite a small group of us tonight, everybody could just rip through and we could answer the first question first, and then we can go through again and answer the second question. So what are 2 specific actions that you take in your coaching workday, other than basically the vitals, that make all the difference in moving your business forward? My 2 things that I do that honestly make all the difference for me personally is, number 1, I start my day with meditation no matter what. It's so important to me to start my day in silence and not doing. And number 2, I don't go on my phone until I've read personal development and journaled. And for me personally, when I do that, that's like my version of filling my cup, like filling my mental and emotional and spiritual cup. And when I do that, I have the most badass day. Even better if I get a walk in, but meditate, and I don't go on my phone until I've read and journaled. Those are really important to me first thing in the morning. So I'm just going to start. I can just see, Colleen, you're top left to me. So what if I just like,
Sure.
we start with you. We can just go around if you guys want.
Okay. So I did, one thing I said is unplugging, because I find the days where my phone's constantly in my hand, I get nothing accomplished, and then I feel horrible. I feel like a bad parent. I feel like a bad spouse, and it's just not good. So when I unplug, I feel way more productive when I am doing coaching. And number 2 is being fully present with my kids, no technology on, just us on the floor playing, doing all the things that you do with the 5 and 3-year-olds. So those are my 2. Virginia.
So one thing for me is just like genuinely just talking to people. Like I love doing that on Instagram stories. It's not really something that I really track. I just like to genuinely connect with them. And I'm so glad they came out with Instagram stories, because in the past I felt so forced on Facebook to talk to people. So now I really enjoy just like talking to people on their stories, like, yum, what was that you made? Oh my gosh, your dog's cute, blah, blah, blah. Like that actually makes me happy to do that. And what else? Oh, I just wrote down one for that one. Come back to me later.
That's okay. You can pick somebody.
Cassandra.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 1 is gratitude. Waking up and thinking of like the 3 things that I'm grateful for in my life just like helps start my day off much better than what it did before. And then I don't know if these are like the same thing, but team calls were really big for me this year, and also push group chats, which is kind of like Success Club Partners, but I had more of like a pod of people, and we just kind of like kept each other accountable and like really hustled, and it really helped move my business forward this year.
Cool. I like that one.
Am I supposed to pick?
Yes.
Cassie.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm sick, so don't mind my disgusting voice. So 2 things right now, and it's kind of like what Jen said with connecting with new people every day. I just love going through people's Instagram stories and like replying to them, because from that, when you have just like an authentic conversation, then invites happen naturally, or like they just ask me about it naturally. But in November, I probably had the toughest, actually I did have the toughest month since I became a coach. I made the lowest amount in November that I had made ever since my first 2 months as a coach. I hit Success Club at the very last of it, but I realized it was because I hadn't been like connecting with new people the 2 months prior to that. And I was just relying on my Instagram stories, people clicking my poll, and that's it. So that's made like a huge difference for me now. And another thing is creating that community again. I wasn't working with like a success partner before. I was just trying to work with my team, which wasn't very big. And then trying to build the community with my team, like having like a group conversation like Cass said, and then working with a success partner again is just really like helped motivate me and get me back on track, feeling good and having more, you know, like motivation and to show other people too what they're missing out on kind of.
I love that, because that's what it's all about, right? It's community. You come for the weight loss maybe, or the IBS healing, and you stay for the community.
Yeah, and I was lacking it before, I think, because I was comparing a lot too, and I'm like, I'm focusing on the small team that I have instead of focusing on like what I could have and what I made of what I had. So beside me is Colleen.
Sorry, I went already. This Colleen?
Can I go? I have to pick up my kid right away.
Yeah.
Sorry to just jump in, but he's at driver's ed and it's supposed to go till 9 o'clock and they got done early. So I hate leaving these calls, but I just wanted to share that I've been starting my day with gratitude for about 10 years, even in the shittiest of shittiest times. And it helps. It really, I truly believe it helps guide you, I guess. Something I started mostly because most of my loved ones don't live with me here. And so I actually send them love notes in the morning. I know that might sound corny, but I send them love notes. And I also reach out to challengers and just send them a little bit of love. If there's some that are struggling and I know a little text will just make their day rather than waiting to check into my challenge groups. I just send, and sometimes I just send random thank you notes to like random people that have nothing to do with Beachbody, but just thanking them. Part of it's because I'm moving too. Like I'm trying to connect with as many people in Thompson before I leave and just letting them know the impact they've had on me in my life. So I just share that. And I hate to have to leave this call because I like hearing from all of you, but that kid of mine is done. So thank you guys for having me tonight.
Katie, just before you run here really quickly, I just wanted to say that is so awesome that you do that. And you just brought me back my first 2 years of coaching. Every single day I sent 5 love notes. That is so funny that you said that. And that made such a huge difference for me. And now you can call them whatever you want to call them, but it was a thank you or something kind. It's powerful.
It's kind of a double whammy. Like I'm a huge gift giver, and I'm going to share with you ladies just something that happened to me this week. And my son's at university and he got refused any support for funding. And so we're in the process of trying to get funding and don't really have a lot of extra, but I sent him $5 in an envelope, like a care package. And my kid turned around and gave it to a homeless person where he's living. And he texted me and said, "Hey mom, guess what I did today?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I gave away my $5 that you sent me." And I said, "Did you?" I said, "To who?" And he's like, "I don't know, mom, some random guy that probably needed it more than I." And then I said, "That's okay, Jack, it'll come back to you." So I firmly believe I have a huge vision, and I know I say that lots when I talk to you ladies. I know it's going to all come around, and by giving a thank you note or a love note, Marie or all of you, it gives you the feeling of like such love and happiness, and then it gives them love. So it's a double. It's like you just get bonus for just doing that. So that's my help that I would like to contribute tonight.
Thank you so much. Okay, go pick up your sweet dear son because he's going to be
okay, bye everybody.
Thank you. All right, Liv, you're next.
Okay, for me, it's the exact same thing. Whether it's family, people on Instagram, it's usually like close family friends, just like sending them a hey, have a good day, a good morning, a little Bitmoji with the rainbow, whatever it is, sending that out, just like literally I can just feel my cup filling up. I love it. And then music's a huge thing in my life. Simple by Florida Georgia Line. I play it like every day and it just like instantly lifts my mood. We all have that song. Everybody's got that song that just like makes them smile. That's what it does for me. And then I can I'm like, okay, I'm in a good mood. I can go out and like crush the world. Those are my 2 things.
I love that. I love that you mentioned music because that's a state changer. And that's a big one for me too. If I'm like feeling down, I'm like, put something upbeat on now and like fake it till you make it do a little dance. And it works. So that's powerful. Samantha, you're beside Liv.
Right, so I had gratitude, but kind of like in a bigger picture, just waking up earlier so that I have me time before I go to work. it has been like huge, like in my business, for myself, for teaching. I think I'm happier and they're happier because of it. So that's really big. So doing my gratitude, reading my personal development, taking the time to sip my coffee, like instead of waking up and rushing to work, it's like I wake up and work my business kind of by like filling my cup and then going. And the second one is scheduled scheduled success partner dates, because I found that actually scheduling them, they happen, and then it's like a continuous like motivator, as opposed to like, oh, when they happen, and then you maybe fall off for a week and then get back on. So it's really nice to have them scheduled and hold each other accountable and then stay motivated throughout the week. So those are my two. And let's hop to Carly, who's beside me.
My first one is journaling. I put 5-minute journal, so doing that every single morning, and the rest of my miracle mornings with meditation and personal development. Got from the lovely Marie, and the other one is Successful Partner. It has also been like a huge game changer, just having that like daily pump up motivation and talking about like what's going on, and you just have that person to lean on, and yeah, that's you live. Sandy, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Carly. My two specific things that I thought of, I love all of these ideas, so I'm loving this roundtable, Marie, is engage on my social media. I try to be purposeful of what I'm doing if I'm scrolling. And again, that's not first thing in the morning. I definitely take time to fill my cup first, but engaging. So scroll past the crap and make meaningful comments on the posts that serve you and serve them. And then I also make sure to add to my network. I work this business part-time. I work in pockets. So instead of scrolling, I add. And if I find my phone in my hand just to be killing time between patients or doctors or in the bathroom or something, I try to be intentional in what I'm doing with it.
Love that, Sandy. I love that. These are all so good, you guys. Okay, who hasn't gone? Stacy, you haven't gone yet. Rhiannon hasn't gone yet. Jamie.
Yeah, last year I was burning out real bad. So this year I've told myself that I have to be way more structured and use my time well and focus well. I have 2 kids and I also work part-time as a nurse. So I have to stop mindlessly scrolling. And when I go onto social media for the pockets of time I do in the daytime now, it is like down to business, connect with people, engage in posts. And I actually started doing the 3-2-1 also. And it's been super awesome. Like this has been one of my best months in the last few months. So yeah, just no more mindless scrolling and a lot more PD, because I definitely was lacking in that and slacking off last year.
Cool. I love that you're doing the 3-2-1. Isn't that fun? Because even if you are scrolling, you're still working purposely.
Yeah. And I did a 3-2-1 last month and signed her up as a coach and never spoke to her before.
Amazing.
Crazy, yeah.
That's awesome.
Kim Hill.
Hi, everyone. I haven't seen you guys in quite some time, huh? So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I don't have good answers because it like calls me out on what I'm not doing. But I always have continued conversations, right? So I guess it's the same thing as like sending messages to people, whether they're my challengers or coaches or my friends. Like I'm always talking to people in Messenger. Like I love Facebook Messenger. I hate Instagram Messenger because there's no app on my phone to do it. And it's very hard to like make sure I'm seeing messages. So I still rock out like Facebook Messenger, and I always keep those going. And I start from the beginning in the morning if I'm up working out, and throughout the day on and off. So that's one thing that consistently I've always done since I've started coaching. And now that I have a new job and that I'm traveling for work and I'm really have a real job now, I don't know if you all remember, but I used to just work coaching all day, and I don't get to do that anymore because I have a real job now, which is exciting because coaching helped me get that new job, like the confidence I needed to apply for this job and feel confident in it. Like it's all thanks to coaching. But now I have to really like plan better. So I'm trying to every day organize my day with like my work for work and then my coaching work and having them next to each other and then managing that throughout the day. So that's my goal for 2019 is make sure I'm back at doing that. That was just one, right? Or are we answering both questions?
No, just number 1, and that was awesome.
Okay. Well, it's good to see all of you guys.
You
Oh,
too.
my kid finally sleeps, so I'm back.
Holko hasn't gone. Jamie hasn't gone. Stacy.
So we'll go Jamie.
Okay.
Hello. All right. Love your guys' answers. I have more answers now that I listened to you guys, but what I wrote down is connect. I run 3 businesses, so I work in pockets of time, and on days like today where I have, 9 to 10 clients at my spa, I have a lot of bullshit small talk, and it just like irks me. And so I love getting in my Instagram inbox and really connecting with people who they are on my Instagram because they love my stuff, and I'm on theirs because I love their stuff. And same thing, just having those meaningful connections. It's like so much different than having a storefront business. Another thing is I just did the update. So I now have screen time limits and downtime on my phone where I can't go on my apps, which I love. And something else somebody said that sparked something in me was I kind of forget that I do this, but when I sit down in my office, I have my crystals and my sage here. I always smudge, but I have a picture frame of my partner and I always just kind of look at it and envision where I want to go with this business and why I'm here in this office. And honestly, it raises my vibration so much in the morning because I work in my office from 5 to 8 a.m. So it just raises my vibration so that I'm happier in my inbox, in my videos, in everything. And just, it's the reminder, it's why we're all here. It's for freedom and for more time with our loved ones. So that's me.
I love that.
Is anyone
I love
else not gone? Stacy?
Okay, I'll go. I put sleep. That's a big one. Making sure I get enough sleep. And because I'm useless if I don't. And then the tracker, I get my tracker out every morning after I do my vitals, and then I just get right into work with starting to do my tracker stuff. But I got a lot of great ideas from all you guys too, so I'm gonna be adding lots to it. That's all I got.
That's awesome. Okay, Holko, you go, and Courtney hasn't gone yet, and Elizabeth and Jennifer haven't gone.
Okay, this is something that I subconsciously realized. Well, consciously realized. I don't know. I realized I did it the other day, and have realized I've been doing it a lot, and it's really hilarious. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I see is a big Saint Bernard face. And I go, oh my God, you're the most handsome boy in the entire world. You're the most beautiful boy I've ever seen. You're such a good dog. And I noticed that I say that all the time to him. And then what ended up happening was I was like, okay, I'm giving all this love to him. So I give love to Bernie, and then I give love to myself. And I say, you are beautiful, you are strong and confident, and you're going to rock this day. And I go through these different things, like whatever I say to him, and or you like your child, whatever it is. I give love to Bernie, and I'm like, you're the best guy ever in the whole wide world, and it's so amazing, and do it in my dog mom voice. And then I do the exact same thing to myself, which is hilarious. And then I play the exact same playlist every single morning as I go into my classic morning routine. So we all know the morning routines, but I have the exact same playlist, like Liv, how music sets your stuff. And I've tried not doing it, and that music is just key. So music and whatever you tell your kids, I think this is a huge part. Anytime you come into your business and you're like, I can't do this. If your kid came up to you and was like, I can't do this, you'd be like, silly son, you can do it. Whatever you tell your dog or your kids, tell yourself that tenfold and believe it. So there you go. Court, you're rocking and rolling.
Okay, I love that, Britt. Thanks for sharing that. So for me, the biggest thing is the morning routine. When I do that, my day is 100 times better. So I do a short meditation, gratitude, journaling, PD, and my workout. If I do that all in the morning, my day is so much better and I show up better in every area of my life. And then the other thing would be just like starting conversations with people and not focusing so much on like ranks, points, numbers, that kind of thing. And tracking is another huge one for me. Who hasn't gone yet? No idea. Is there anyone?
I think did everybody go? Don't tell me I missed anybody. Okay, so we probably don't have time for the second question unless you guys have an extra like 5 minutes here if you wanted to go over. But that was fabulous. And like, so I wrote down every single person's answer because I wanted to see what the synchronicities were across the board. And the coolest thing for me is that we are all so, oops, sorry, that's my alarm going off. I'm allowed to drink water for 2 hours now. We all have the same shit. We are all focused on living on purpose, in the moment, being grateful, staying present, connecting with other humans, and finding joy. Like, that's literally what everybody just said in a nutshell. And getting enough sleep, because Stacey, I hear you on that one. I'm a useless tit when I don't get enough sleep. That's so amazing. I'm so, that's just that whole list. I'm going to like maybe type that list up of things because that is just like the coach Bible right there. But if you guys have an extra 5 minutes here and you have your one piece of advice, we could just rip through every single person and everybody could just really quickly just say their one piece of advice if you guys have an extra 5 minutes to share. I think that would be really valuable. Oh, I guess I can go first because I'm already unmuted. My piece of advice to myself as a new coach was you don't have to know everything and enjoy the process.
Do you mind if I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, mine is don't pay attention to all the other coaches and just focus on you first, especially on Instagram, and don't get caught up in the comparison game.
So true. Colleen?
Yep, I'm good because I have to do bedtime. Mine was similar. Don't compare. Stick to the basics.
Love it. Jenny?
Mine would be track customers because I feel like over the years, like I've just lost so many people, and I feel like now I'm trying to be so much more consistent, and I will sell them a challenge pack every 6 months because if you stay engaged with them, they're going to stay engaged with the products and everything. It makes it just easier. And I feel like that's why I'm having success this month is because I'm staying connected with those customers. And I really wish I would have done that from 2013.
Live and learn, right? Falco, you're up.
So much stuff. But I'm going to go with epic stuff is coming your way. Believe it, track it, show up, go after it.
Love it. You are the belief queen, and that's a big deal because you won't go anywhere if you don't have belief in this biz. So I love that. Carly, what's up?
Stick it out. It's not going to be easy, and it's not a get rich quick. If you stay in long enough and work hard enough, it will happen.
Love it. Stace?
It's bigger than just like workouts. Like there's so much more that you have no idea. Like I had no idea how awesome this was.
I'm just like so happy that you're still in it and doing it. Just really, really quick backstory. Stacy and I met at a P90X class and she had no idea about Beachbody. And like I roped her in so hard and she was like, what is this scam that I'm getting involved in? Anyways, but I'm so happy that you fall in love with it and you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rhiannon.
For me, it's like be authentic, be you, don't compare like your chapter 1 to someone chapter 20 and put your freaking blinders on. Because in the beginning, you try to look at everybody and it just causes massive stress.
Awesome. Cassie?
Mine has been said like by everybody, don't compare yourself and just don't throw in the towel when shit gets tough. Like when you get discouraged, don't let that bring you down. Like I've done some months and then it's been like the very end of the month where I pull through and I just like throw myself a pity party the rest of the month. Yeah, it's just don't compare, right? Keep those blinders on and don't give up when it gets tough. That's probably what I would tell myself.
Love it. Liv?
Finding out who you serve. You cannot talk to everybody because it will do you nothing. Talk to the prior version of yourself before Beachbody because those are your people. You have to find your people.
Love it. Samantha?
Mine is to dive into PD and to use it to reflect and to share your story.
Love it.
Sorry, she heard me talking. The beast is awoken.
Hello, beast. Jamie?
Mine was actually, you don't have to know it all to get started as well, but the more I think about this and hear you guys talk, what's changed for me is think long term. This is a business. You're literally building a business from the ground up. And lots of people don't think about that when they sign up to be a coach. Who hasn't gone? Sandy?
I'm feverishly writing things down. I agree with obviously everything that you guys have to say, but I would say don't overcomplicate it and add to your network. Show up and be a human. Add to that network right from the beginning because your warm market will dry and you need those people.
100%. All right, Katie is back, Courtney, and Miss Hill. You guys are our last three, I think. And then we're Gucci.
I'll go. My biggest thing was I started comparing right out of the gate and kind of lost myself even in that process. So the coaches I have now that are starting out, it's the first thing I tell them is just stick to who you are and don't lose sight of that. And I'm doing more of me now and I love it.
Love it. That's powerful. All right, Court.
Mine is to not sweat the small stuff and just focus on getting the most important things done. Like Marie says, done is better than perfect.
It's true. Okay, and we have one more. Who did I miss? You.
So my thing would just to say to faith it forward and do what you need to do without stressing over it and to share the happy. Just share the happy with as many people as possible. I think sometimes it's easier to talk to strangers than it is people you really know. I think sometimes people get caught up in this whole warm market thing. I just always talk to people. I don't know. I think it's easier. Go through all your friends and like talk to everyone. They don't have to be your warm market. I think people get caught up on that. So.
Love it. Okay, well, I want to be mindful of your guys' time, but I'm so glad this was recorded because there was some gems up in here tonight. And I just feel like my vibration is raised because you guys are raising your vibration because we're focusing on the right stuff. And I just think that's so powerful. And I just want to really honor every single one of you where you're at right now. I'm a better person for knowing you guys. I'm a better person for being able to work alongside you in this mission. And I think that there's so much power to what we're doing. And so just to really keep the faith and to continue showing up despite struggle and doubt and fear and all of the rest is so important. So big love to all of you guys. Thank you so much for showing up tonight and thank you for sharing honestly with me.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.